The Bible is far from silent on the topic of wisdom, and it talks to us about a God who holds all wisdom. It makes sense that he would hold all wisdom because he holds all knowledge. Wisdom is not just having the facts. That's knowledge. Wisdom is knowing how to achieve right ends with the facts. So human wisdom is always going to be limited because we don't hold every single fact. We take a few facts and we make the best decision that we can based on that. But God holds all facts, which means that he only makes wise choices because nothing escapes his consideration when he does so. The wisdom of God is something to be celebrated, and it's something that we imitate as far as we're able as limited creatures. Listen to the words of 1 Corinthians 3:18 and 20. They're pretty sobering. It says, "Let no one deceive himself. If anyone among you thinks that he is wise in this age, let him become a fool, that he may become wise. For the wisdom of this world is folly with God. For it is written, he catches the wise in their craftiness. And again, the Lord knows the thoughts of the wise, that they are futile." So here we hear Paul picking up on an idea that you also find in James, that there is more than one kind of wisdom, that there is a wisdom that's demonstrated by those in the world, and it's set in contrast to a godly wisdom that is demonstrated by the followers of Christ. And yet it takes a sharp eye to understand which is which. Although maybe not such a sharp eye if you've paid attention to the ministry of Jesus in the Gospels, because he's very intent on getting us to understand this upside-down principle that you see in play here in Paul's words. What does he say? He says the wisdom of the world is foolishness in the eyes of God, and vice versa. Whereas worldly wisdom says I should self-protect and I should self-promote, and all of my decisions should be made through that lens, Christ models the better form of wisdom. That I should lay down my life, that I should make myself vulnerable even to my enemies for the sake of the gospel. Whereas the wisdom of the world says that strength and might are what rule the day, the wisdom of God says that it is in meekness and in submitting our will to God's that we find the strength to endure and the wisdom to move forward. Worldly wisdom and godly wisdom don't live in the same camp. In fact, they're in opposition to each other because worldly wisdom has as its God self, and godly wisdom has as its God the one true God of the Bible, God most wise. So choose this day whom you will serve. When people look at you and say that you're a wise person, are they making that judgment based on worldly wisdom measures or on godly wisdom measures? Because those who grow in godly wisdom will likely be reviled. They will likely be rejected. They'll be seen as fools by others around them. We will have to walk willingly toward the wisdom of God. I don't know about you, but life has given me ample opportunities to examine that I lack wisdom. And there's encouragement for us in James's letter in chapter 1. He assures us that if any of us lacks wisdom, we only need to ask, and God grants it. That's a 100% take it to the bank promise of God. If you ask for wisdom, God grants it. So do that. As you close in prayer today, what current issue that you're facing, what current condition of your heart do you most need the wisdom of God applied to? Ask him to show you how wisdom and folly are at play there and to grant you the wisdom of God.